Well, good evening. It's Saturday night, under the lights, 5 minutes to go until kick-off here. Barrow Raiders against Salford. It's round 2 of the Betfred Championship. Raiders, after a fantastic start to the season so far, are looking to continue that in some muddy, extremely wet, cold, damp conditions here. I'm Dan Payne, and alongside me, I've got the man that knows probably more than what I forgot. That's Mr. Graham Dale. How's it going, Jake?
I'm going good, thank you, and I'm just glad it's not raining.
Well,
yet.
Well, it's stopping and starting, isn't it? So straight into this one, Graham. Obviously, we were saying on the build-up there, live to BBC Radio Cumbria, that this one should be a one-way street, but we've seen stranger things at this spot.
Well, you never count your chickens, do you? And I'm sure the coaching staff on the Raiders won't have done that. Like I say, speaking to Steve Ray before I got here, as I came in, and they're just going to go out and look after the things that they can control, like their possession, defence, and the set kicks, putting them under pressure, and the rest hopefully falls in place off the back of that.
Yeah, well, we'll go through the lineups then. We are around about 3 minutes away until kick-off, and if you were listening to the preview earlier on, live in the studio too, big changes for the Raiders. The first one, no place for Andy Bullman, expected to be out for around about a month's time. So Dan Knott makes his first competitive start in a Barrow Raiders shirt out on the wing. And the other big one is the captain, Ryan Johnston. He's injured for a week, possibly 2. So it's Ellis Archer. He slots into that position this evening, and you are going to hear me say this afternoon, I reckon at least 10 times today. Luke Cresswell starts at fullback then. He will be the captain this evening. Dan Knott and Curtis Tier on one side, with Luke Broadbent and T. Ritson on another. Brad Walker partners up alongside Ellis Archer in the 6-7 positions. Joe Bullock, Josh Wood and Tom Walker, with Ellis Robson, Matty Costello and Ryan King. Interchanges for the Raiders, Aidan Doolan, Greg Richards, Charlie Emsley and the former captain Jared Stack. Stevie Watson, who had a great performance against St Jude's, will be the 18th player this evening. As for Salford then, this new look team, this new look club, everything about them is fresh. Even the badge is different and it looks tight. I like that badge actually, it's quite nice. So they start them. Do bear with me as I try and go through some of these names. At fullback, Raphael Van Ossenlaar, Sam Hill and Deacon Connolly on one side, with Kieran Taylor and Joe Hartley on the other. Toby Hughes partners up alongside Manny Ross, with Sam Bowring, Brad Dwyer, Owen Hallenby, Reece Stanton, Ollie Garmston and Finn Yates. Interchanges for Salford, Ethan Newbolt, Lembo Bardell Wells, Cole Appleby and Damola Ian Lajar Lowo. Lewis Pillin will be the 18th player. So we've just been saying there, Graham, about players for Salford. These are fringe players, these are players that have come up from their academy, just people that believe in the Salford system, they believe in the new ways. They are going to bring in more and more loan players as the season goes on with the new backers that they've got. But for the start of this championship campaign, it's going to be a rough ride, I feel.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the CEO for Salford is going to be on top of that, and like you say, everybody's buying into it at the moment, these players, and we'll have to see what they can do week in, week out, and I'm sure they'll work hard for the coach and try and get something to build on, and that's the main thing in adversity. When you're like this and you're up against it, you know, it's about going out there and proving it to yourself that you can do it.
Well, we are just moments away from kick-off here then at Craven Park, the Northern Competition Stadium. It's going to be Brad Walker that's going to kick us off. Raiders playing in blue shirt with their white V down the chest, blue shorts and blue socks, of course, kicking from right to left as we look at it from our commentary balcony here. Salford in their new look strip, almost looks like Phoenix-like flames going down that shirt, the red and black famous colours of Salford. And here we go then, Saturday night under the lights, live on BBC Radio Cumbria. Barrow Raiders, Salford. And it's Salford that will get possession, and they will make their first set of this one. weighing up the middles here for the Raiders, who have been doing so well recently, you know, Graham. Only conceding, albeit against lesser opposition, but only conceding one try in 2 games at any level is something to be recognised.
Well, you can only play the game that's in front of you, the team that's in front of you, and that's all they've done so far. And today, I'm expecting big games from the big guys in the middle, as well as Ellis Robson and people like that out in the width.
Salford now then up towards the 40 inside their own half. Kick from deep, should I say, towards the end of that set. Bobbling around and collected well. At the back, fast feet of Dan Knott. Lots of family and friends here to cheer on the new Raiders rookie. Every year at the moment, Graham, it seems we get a new rookie, but they always seem to do well under the tutelage of Paul Crary. Yeah, well, you know, the scheme's been going a lot now, and I've stood and listened to Paul in this last week at the college when the trainee took a session the other week, and they were all buying into it, and they're all keen as mustard, and I think that's key to it, Dan. Big run there down this left-hand side from Tom Walker, the Cumbrian juggernaut as Raiders now then. Right through the middle, big run that time from Ryan King in the skull cap, takes the Raiders team inside the Salford half, but it is fifth and last out towards the right hand side as Walker dinks that one over the top. It's going to go over the head of Joe Hartley down that far corner, collected well just in front of his try line, but the good chase from the Raiders keeping Salford camped right back in front of the lone line, potentially going behind the line. No one was trying to force a drop out there. Great defensive efforts from the Raiders, Graham. Fantastic, yep. Like you say, they're just this is, you know, bread and butter to any rugby league player, but to the Raiders, you know, they've got to keep this consistency when you get the likes of Sheffield and Halifax and teams like that here this year. Incredible turnout as well, credit where it's due for the travelling fans this evening, albeit it's not the longest of trips, thankfully, from Salford to Manchester. It's long enough. It's long enough. It's something I'm familiar with, let me tell you. It's better than coming back and forth from Yorkshire every week, though. Something we've very experienced. And Salford now then make some space for themselves on this right-hand edge, doing well to break down there when a tackle is eventually going to be made on Declan Connolly, just off the halfway mark, but Salford have put themselves in a great position. It's going to be a kick early on in this set, once again from Toby Hughes, putting that one high, testing the youngster, the rookie Dan Knott. He's done well under pressure, taken that ball up towards the 30. It's a couple of times now, Graham, that Salford have kicked early in these sets. Yeah, well, it makes sense, you see, because if you can get an early kick away before everybody's dropped back and expecting it, you know, while you're marching, you're not fighting, and you can try and force the error from the Raiders, keep them as far away from your try line as you can. Another big run once again from Walker, right down the middle, still going. 2 Salford defenders battling to stop the big Cumbrian forward, as Raiders now then shifting out towards that right side. Good hands here, good fast hands, creating some space. Luke Cresswell gets the offload away. It's going to cut back inside from Tia. Tia goes back to Cresswell. The captain's over. 4 minutes on the clock. Banner Raiders get a first try of the evening. It's now Raiders 4, Salford 0. Yeah, they just took him to the sword there. They stripped him on that right edge, and then Luke Cresswell got the ball, made the overlap, put it into space to Curtis Tia, and stayed on that inside, as he does very well, and took that ball and slid over for the first Raiders try. Something, a familiar sight for Raiders fans. Luke Cresswell, the fullback, the ultimate support player, probably one of the best in the Championship, if not the best. It's always been a key point of his game. I think he does very well when he goes in at dummy half as well, to cover and things like that, because he's always had that eye for an opening. I suppose Luke's coming to the latter stages, shall we say, of his career. He's definitely got a few seasons in him, but it's nice for these Furness Raiders lads that do keep getting promoted to the tide year on year. That's what the ethics of the club are all about, and you do wonder, you know, who's going to step into them shoes, because it's a big boots to fill in a few years' time. Yeah, well, it remains to be seen. You know, it could go one of several ways. I mean, gone are the days where a big financial person comes in with deep pockets, you know, and generous, and try and buy your way to anything. And that's what Paul Crary and his team they noticed, and they realised that a lot of years ago, and they started to put that in place. I wouldn't like to take a guess at how many years ago, but it's now starting to bear fruit really well. Successful conversion by Brad Walker then, meaning the scoreline here at Craven Park reads Barrow Raiders 6, Salford 0. And this unbeaten start to the season so far continues. 6 minutes played here in this second game week fixture. Raiders with their first tries from that one as it goes deep now from kick-off, picked up on the 10, given to Joe Bullock, another man that comes in for this season. Graham, massive experience from Joe, massive fan favourite as well, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He does all the right things in the right areas. Again, like you say, vastly Super League experience with a couple of clubs, you know, and it must be disheartening, like you say, a bit like for Workington the other week there and Salford tonight. We'll see how it goes. But when you see them coming off and interchanging off the bench, you know, you don't seem to get any respite from these guys.
We've got another BBC Radio summarise over on the far stand that's texting me some updates in terms of. He's got in touch to say that trying to find where he's getting his treatment. The treatment's already been carried out. He's come back onto the hand with a heavily strapped, looks like a left. I don't know if it's left hand or right. I can't tell if that's mud. It's his right hand that's heavily strapped. It's straight back into the action as Raiders now then within 20, coming down this left hand side. This time it's going to be T. Ritson. T. Ritson goes it in the corner. He does what he does best. He sniffs the try line, takes his opportunity, and it's the second try of a Saturday evening. The Barrow Raiders. It's now Barrow 10, Salford 0.
Yeah, they found the edge again on this left side this time, and just found the numbers and found the space, and unfortunately Salford were found wanting, getting across the field, scrambling. So I think it's going to be a long night, looking at the way the Raiders have started for these Salford players, these young players.
There was always a little bit of apprehension in the air when you come against teams like this. You know, these players have got a point to prove. These were fringe players. A lot of them have gone through Super League academies, come from Salford's own Super League academy. But that step up, as we've seen it many a year, Graham, when you chuck someone, a young lad in straight at this level at the Championship against, you know, a decent Championship side in Barrow Raiders, it's always going to be tough. They are going to come up against some opposition where they're probably going to almost match them par for par, and they could take a few games close, but it's a big stepping stone for them.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of teams that have this new format of the game, and in this new league format, you're exactly right. They are going to meet somebody that they'll think we've got a chance today. But I mean, I think they'll believe they've got a chance at the start of every game. But having played at this level, not that much for that long, I'll say, but you don't realise how quick things happen in front of you. You know, and when you've got, you know, the likes of Ryan King and that. And you try and set up to hit them, to stop them. Otherwise, they run over the top of you, you know. And then so if you jump in to try and stop the pass, you know, you devil, no pun there, is it? It's better the devil, you know. And if you can compete as a team, that's the thing. You know, these Raiders players, they look to get to a point on the field. They move the ball both edges and try and play expansive rugby, and that's what they're managing to do on a greasy, slippy-looking field.
Unsuccessful conversion that time from Brad Walker. Means the scoreline remains Raiders 10, Salford 0. As the Raiders now then using that strength once again through the middle, battling up towards the 30-metre mark inside their own half. Quick hands here, back, big spaces. Will we be jumping aboard here? Will we get it aboard the Ritson Express? He eventually tackled on the 30-metre mark. It was a good 30 or so metre burst there, but Salford did just enough at the back to take down the Raiders speedster. But my God, you can feel people get off their seats when he gets that ball in a little bit of space, Graham.
Yeah, he's very good, very pleasing to watch when he gets in full flow.
So Raiders now within 30 of the Salford line. 2 tries in 4 minutes. Will it be 3 in 6? The ball comes over the top to Ritson. Batted back in field. Taken well, but can't quite find the line. That time Raiders tackled just a few metres out, trying to set up some shape now as he prepared to shift this ball back into the middle of the field. Is it a hand over there, actually? Sorry, it's a turnover possession. It's our view, Graham. We are very restricted when it goes into these left corners, and straight away
Ryan King's been pulled there.
First
for a high shot.
Yeah, first tackle of the set there, and a loose forward has been penalised.
Didn't look that much wrong to me.
That's because you're hard, Graham. It's because you're a Walney and Highpool man. That's what it is, isn't it?
Walney and Highpool man. Wash your mouth out.
Salford now then, back in possession. 11 minutes played. Raiders 10. Salford 0. Tries from Luke Cresswell and T. Ritson. In the opening 8 minutes, giving Raiders the lead here. Big step that time and a good run from Finn Yates. And he's eventually brought down on the 40. A shift of direction here as Brad Dwyer shifts that ball back inside. And then eventually the ball had been knocked on. Salford trying to quickly go through the players there.
You can see they've got a game plan and they're trying to play quick up the middle, Dan, but they just can't control this ball in the slippy conditions. Brad Dwyer there, like I said, player with a lot of Super League experience himself, so there's a big ask on him this year, isn't there? They'll heavily rely on him. They'll hope that he keeps fit, and he still looks as though he could do a job in Super League. But fair play, he's by hook or by crook they've managed to keep him at the club, and he'll be their pillar as they go through the league.
Raiders now then back in possession. Inside the Salford half, almost breaking through there was the young and eager Dan Notton. How much would we love to see him on the score sheet? His family and friends have turned up this evening to see him make his Raiders competitive debut. Another product of the successful Furness Raiders Academy is Barrow now then, with Josh Wood running at the markers, takes the Raiders to within 30. Just inside the 30 in fact now. We've still got a few tackles remaining in this set. Raiders opt to go towards this right-hand side this time as Walker grubbers that one through. It's bobbling around, it's come loose, it's collected by a Raiders shirt in that far right-hand side. Over the line he goes, it's going to be try number 3 for Barrow.
I think it's your man Dan Knott.
Just trying to get, it was all fumbling around there, Graham. I couldn't quite make out exactly who it was that scored that one. Are we going with Dan Knott?
Yeah, I am anyway. It looked like him, yeah. It looked like him to me. Just looking at his stature.
Well, the announcer's getting confirmation from us. We'll go with it. We'll go with Dan Knott until someone tells us otherwise. He's got that try. Just 13 minutes into his first competitive start in a Barrow Raiders shirt. Dan Knott goes over. Third try of the evening for the Raiders. Barrow 14, Salford 0. Still a little bit of confusion in the media box.
Well,
I think there's some messages coming through now as well. Hopefully, I'm waiting for somebody just to confirm that was watching on the stream. But no, it's not. It's not. They're just letting me know that there's no score on the scoreboard. You don't need to tell me. Raiders 14, Salford 0. 26 minutes to go until half-time, and Brad Walker now with the conversion attempt on that far right-hand side. Wind and rain against him, doesn't make a difference. He's got that one right through the middle. It's Raiders 16, it's Salford 0.
Dan Knott, sponsored by Susan, Nick and Ruby. Goal kicks by number 6, Brad Walker, sponsored.
I love it when there's such a delay. Sometimes we rely on these guys to let us know who scored. But today, tonight, they are relying on us. Raiders 16 then, Salford 0. And it looks like Barrow are going to be running away with this one. Continuing their unbeaten start to the season. Kicked off high towards his left side. Flirting with a touchline now then as the try scorer himself. Dan Knott picks up that ball. Brings that one in field. As Barrow now then. Big run once again right through the middle. From the bus that is Bullock. On the 30 now then, the ball knocked on, play continues. Salford kick that one through towards the post. It's going to be collected by the Raiders though, and now I believe the referee is going to pull that one back. I mean, it looked a little bit like he put his hand to bash that ball down there. I'm not too sure what the referee's going to award here.
I'm pretty sure the Raiders lost control of the ball, and it was kicked ahead by a Salford player. For a wee second it looked like they were in for a try, but thankfully for the Raiders, Luke Broadbent was covering across the back of his defence.
There's going to be a scrum down. Head and feed to Salford. "24 minutes to go then. Raiders 16, Salford 0. Salford on the attack there. On this right-hand side, looking like a heavy bit of salad there, moving within 10 metres now. Back towards the middle. Flirting around on this 10-metre mark as Salford trying to find any kind of way through that Raiders defence. Struggling at the moment, no. Shifting this one once again through the middles. Owen Hadleby this time. The teeth back in as Salford now and out towards this left-hand side. Short ball. Trying to find some room. Move within just a couple of metres of the line. Back in towards the middle, out towards this right side once more. It's a good flat ball. Can they get the one through though? They're looking for an out the back pass. It's been lost, it's been collected by Ritson. But the referee's going to stop play here. The touch should just come onto the field. Just a simple knock-on awarded against Salford, I imagine there, Graham.
Yeah, again, enterprising play by Salford. You know, that's twice they've got the Raiders on this right edge. You know, and they've had an opportunity, but that last pass hasn't gone the way. And again, it's giving them hope and opportunity. Fair play to them. And I'm really impressed while we're at it, Dan, while there's a breaking play. These Salford fans, they're absolutely brilliant, aren't they?
Salford trying to find a way through then from that scrum. Yes, you are right, Graham. They're having good noise this evening here at Craven Park. Big tackle that time. And Salford now then, out towards the 10-metre mark, tries to slip there. Slip his way through, but he's slipped on the wet surface. There's no 32 on our team sheet. It's going to cause a lot of confusion this evening for us. And Salford now then try and shift that one back out towards this right-hand side. Still on the 10-metre mark. Shifting this one back towards the middle, out towards this left side now. Quick hands here, setting up some good shape, but still struggling to find a way through, losing metres in the set back towards 15, 16 metres or so from the try line. As now Salford shift this one, kick this one towards the post. There's a great kick through. There's 3 Salford players chasing that one, but the referee has said there wasn't enough contact on that one, so I'm pretty sure that Barrow Raiders got their hand to it. They did, forcing the drop out. Great kick along the floor there, Graham.
Yeah, good enterprise from Salford. You know, they're keeping at it. They've obviously realised that they're not going to bust this Raiders side up the middle, so that they're keeping the ball moving. They're moving the ball around. So fair play to them.
So the kick from the dropout then. Sorry, Graham, you going to say something?
That's been the problem at the moment. You know, they just can't. They're struggling to get some forward metres against this Raiders defence, and it's hard to set up a good ball attack. You know, when you're just on the back foot all the time.
Mistake made there by Salford. Just 30 metres out from the Raiders line. The Raiders defenders coming in like big mama bear, stopping that attack in the process. And you think of players that are missing this season that we had in last year, including Ryan Brown. He's not here now, but these forwards we've got in, they're doing an extremely good job, Graham.
Yeah, they are. You know, they look a really good squad, a good tight-knit squad as well. You know, talking to a few of these players around the town and stuff, and they really do, you know, all say the same thing. They're all biting into it and training really hard and respect for the coaching staff.
So Raiders now then back in possession as the conditions worsen here on this gloomy Saturday night under the lights. The rain's getting stronger. The wind is now picking up. But to be fair, Graham, I think I appreciate being stood over this side than I do being stuck in that stand sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll catch a bit of sun in this summer rugby season.
Maybe not. Oh. A rare mistake there by Joe Bullock, Dan.
Very rare mistake indeed. I do believe, though, Graham, as these conditions worsen, we're going to see more of these sort of errors.
Well,
and there's another one. Talk of the devil. That one's gone backwards and then knocked on again. I mean, they made up for the error there. Joe Bullock coming in with a big tackle as well. But these conditions, they're getting heavy now.
I think I think I'm going to say, I'm not sure if that was the Raiders' first unforced error of the half. And that's been a real mainstay of the games they've played so far this year. They've had a high completion rate. Thing is as well, Dan, on nights like this when it's cold and wet, when you're running around and you're busy, you don't feel the cold. But when you're behind the 8 ball and it drains you, it takes it out of you, the wet conditions, and you're having to tackle all the time. They've probably put a third more tackles in already than the Raiders have, and that takes its toll on the back end of the game. Yeah, it's one thing we talk about a lot, isn't it? It's fitness-wise, it is harder to defend than it is to attack when it comes to cardio. But I mean, this is a team that that they were brought up in full-time settings last year. As a kick comes through, now this is a fantastic chase. The ball's bobbing around. Will it be collected? It will be collected. It's going to be forced to drop. That's a fantastic kick chase by the Raiders. But you've just come back to that fitness thing, Graham. A lot of these lads have trained with Super League teams and Super League academies, so you'd think that they should be fit enough. But then again, the strength then and the skill sets come into it. It's not so much they could well be fit enough, but when you've got to do twice the tackles of your opponent, you're going to be fatigued, no matter how fit you are. I mean, the Australians in the summer there, if we could have kept the ball off them and we could have completed our own sets, we might have made more of a game of the series. But the players just got tired, and they were tired at the back end of the game. So Raiders now within 10, moving down the short side. Long ball over the top. Just a little bit too high, though, for the fingertips of Dan Knott that time. So it's come with ironic cheers from the Salford fans. It's going to go into touch. The scoreline will remain Raiders 16, Salford 0. See, now that's the sort of play where Salford are really glad to get a bit of air in with the ball back on the scrum because of the Raiders' mistake. So Salford now then, back in possession once again. Some massive shots coming in. This has been a thing from the off, really, as we've got 17 minutes to go until half time, and Raiders are still putting in the big shots, keeping Salford back on their own 10. Raiders 16, Salford 0. Tries from Cresswell, Ritson and Knott, giving Barrow that 16 points to 0 advantage. 2 of these tries converted, of course, by Brad Walker. And now the ball. Oh, he was penalised there, was Joe Bullock. I thought the ball had come loose. Again, now the Raiders, a couple of errors in the last 5 minutes. Now they're doing the job for Salford. They're getting them up this field and they're giving them field position. And any side, if you give them enough field position, they'll take advantage of it eventually. So Salford then hoof this one downfield from that penalty and now move inside the Raiders' half. Hoofed? Is that a technical term? Yes. So Salford now within 40. Moving this one towards the left side, up towards the 30-metre mark as Barrow setting up in defence. Salford setting up some good shape on both sides of the field now. They're making a few changes, shifting this one out towards the right side. It was juggled around there. Matty Ross eventually taking control of possession as he moved within 20 metres. A long sweeping ball out towards the middle. Salford shifting this one as quick as they can over towards that left side, trying to find the space, trying to find the offload. But Raiders' hands wrapping around the Salford man there, completing that tackle as a dummy and a grubber kick towards that left corner, juggling around there, giving the Raiders a little bit of work to do, but it's taken well by Luke Cresswell. Has the referee blown his whistle now, has he? Trying to look through these rainy conditions, Graham. Your eyes are better than mine, I think. I don't think so. No? So he's penalised Salford there, is he? He looks like he has, yeah. A penalty against Salford. I'm not sure what it's for. I think he might have been lying on a bit or not clearing the ruck. So Raiders now back in possession up towards the 30-metre mark. Moving towards the halfway is Josh Wood.
Gets this one back in field to Brad Walker, who pops that one up to Tom Walker. Tom Walker's brought down 40 metres out from the Salford line.
Substitution for Barrow Raiders, number 10, Joe Bullock is coming off, and coming on for Barrow is number 16, Greg Richards.
Greg Richards onto the field then as Barrow move this set to the last tackle. Quick play the ball to Cresswell. Ellis Archer dinks that one through. Salford are going to leave that one. Oh, it was flying in at the last minute there, but couldn't quite get his hands to that one, so it's going to be a 20-metre restart for Salford, currently trailing this game by 16 points to 0. Tries from Cresswell, Ritson and Dan Knott giving Barrow that lead early on in this first half, and it's remained like that ever since. Salford have had a little bit more of possession over the last 10 minutes. They've had a few chances as well, Graham, haven't they?
Yeah, they've come real sort of close a couple of times, you know, set up some shape and just had not had that last pass. Just lacking that little bit of quality to try and just see it through. And like you say, in the last 5-10 minutes, you've had a little bit of help from the Raiders by ball spills and a little bit of lack of discipline there from the Raiders, giving a couple of penalties away.
So Salford now moving inside that Raiders half, shifting this one across right until the middle, where a change of direction from Finn Yates back over towards that left side as the rain seems to get heavier. It's coming down almost like a mist at Craven Park this evening as Salford. Massive tackle that time from the M6 himself. Josh Wood with two hard shoulders takes down a man quite literally twice his size as the ball is hoofed up into the air, taken well but then juggled and then dropped. It was Deacon Connolly there. It was reached up highest but couldn't quite take control of the possession, so Raiders now will restart on the 20, 16 points to 0 up as we approaching the final 10 minutes of this first half. And for an opening half an hour, Graham, how would you summarise that one so far?
Well, they've bossed the game, the Raiders overall. You just need to make sure they keep the shape and keep the composure and keep the level of completions going. Otherwise, you know, they give this team a sniff of a chance, you know, and they could make it awkward for the Raiders.
As Barrow now then up towards the halfway, and Doolan onto the field now, returning to Barrow this season after a successful loan spell last year. Back in Raiders colours, it is now officially, I think it's a Castleford player back here on loan. As the ball now moves to Archer, who's confidently kicked that one deep towards the left side. Good chase from the Raiders, but the referee has indicated all offside. That's probably why it looks a little bit too good there, Graham.
Yeah, it's again, you know, they've just took the foot off the throat, really. The Raiders at the moment, they're just giving them some penalties, and it's just making it easy for them to get out of their own half, and they'll get a lot of energy from that and a lot of encouragement. So let's see what they can do with this set.
Number 9, Josh Woods is coming off.
So Salford then in possession once more. Start this set just off their own 40-metre mark.
Sponsored by the travelling supporters.
As the Raiders now need to hold strong in defence, conceding just that one try in their latest 2 games, still holding on to that record, where it remains Raiders 16, Salford 0. And a little bit of Saturday night fever, John Travolta style here. Raiders looking to stay alive, holding that 16 points to 0 advantage. Saturday night, Graham, it's got to be done. If Graham laughs, you know it's a great dad joke.
I invented the term.
So Salford now then, within 30 of the Raiders line, but it is fifth and last. Shifting this one back towards the middle, where Toby Hughes once again is going to go for the height, and the ball is going to be dropped by Brad Dwyer as he goes to collect that ball just off the 10-metre mark. So Raiders back in possession then. Quick step and a shuffle from the speedster. T. Ritson makes a few metres from that one. as Doolan drops the shoulder, goes down the short side. Luke Broadbent. He's had a relatively quiet game. It's been played through the middles, I think, so far, a lot of this game, Graham.
Yeah, well, the Raiders' tries have come from good ball positions where they've spread the ball and stripped them on the edges, but like you say, because they've given Salford some opportunities, it's more of an even game, so it's been played in the middle thirds of the field at the moment. They just need to regroup a little bit, the Raiders, and just try and take a bit of control back. As for Salford, they need to try and easier said than done, try and just increase the pressure they can put on the Raiders to just try and make them lose the confidence or the consistency with the ball is the word I was looking for.
Raiders now then moving back in towards centre field within 20 metres of that Salford line, looking for their 4th try of the evening as Ryan King then gets this one out to Archer. It's a great ball. Raiders trying to edge the way through with Robson, but he's brought down on the 10. Prime position here for Barrow to go over once more. It's a quick dummy, that towards the line, and it's going to be try time for Doolan. Back in Raiders colours, gets the 4th of the evening. It's now Barrow 20, Salford 0. Aidan Doolan.
Yeah, great to see that, Dan. A young half-back at the dummy half. He just shows that ball, and he just come back off his right foot and just pinned his ears back, and he just went 5 metres in for a try, dummy half. Hopefully, as the season goes on, we'll see a little bit more of that kind of play. Sprightly around the half-backs, bit breaks up the middle, and break teams down a little bit and then find the edges. Nice work. Did you say it's Castleford he plays for now? I'm
pretty sure he signed for Castleford, yeah. And now he's come back to the Raiders on loan. I suspect that Barrow will be getting a few more loan players in as the season goes on, for the ones that don't sign for Salford as they go through this championship rebuilding process. It's going to be an interesting few years for this Salford team. And their fans as well, they're going to go through a mixture of emotions, I think, over the next few years.
A club with so much history as well, I mean, several international players, over the years, dual codes, one in particular. I'm going to give you a stat here, a bit of a trivia question. Anybody listening out there might be able to text
you. Here we
go. Can you name the player that won, the ex-player that won the Superstars Challenge, Champions Challenge, coming second, winning it, followed by Brian Jacks.
Try that again in full flow. You need to write these questions down, Superstars, you remember it? No.
You're a bit young, probably.
Thank you, yes. I am young, Graham.
Yes. So they had a competition for all the winners, and can you name the player, the former Salford player? No. Well, anybody out there? We'll literally leave it for 5 minutes. See if anybody texts you.
Yeah, we'll come back for half time. 6 minutes to go until half time. Raiders 22 now, Salford 0. If you'd made any sense of Graham's question, please get in touch and see what you make of that one. As Graham's got a little bit of Saturday night trivia. As Raiders now then, 22 points to 0 up. Going through the motions as we move towards half time. On their own 30-metre mark. Shifting this one across to the Scottish international, Charlie Emsley. A good drive from the big Raiders forward this time as now Archer takes possession to Robson. Fast hands out to Broadbent, who was a pass away there from finding the speeds to T. Ritson, who he had an incredible amount of space in front of him, but good defence from Salford. Making sure that ball stayed firmly against the chest. Back to one indicated then. As Doolan now takes a look at his options, gets that one in field, shifting this one over towards the right hand side as Jared Stack onto the field, takes Barrow inside the Salford half. Quick hands once again as Ellis Archer dummies, tries to go around the short side of the marker, but he's going to be brought down just under 30 metres out now. Good run that time from Archer, who's had a conversation with Paul Crary about him this season, and it's his change of attitude which has brought him back, as now Raiders with Charlie Emsley looks to drive right through the middle towards the post as Barrow find themselves within 10, shifting this one out towards the right hand side, back in towards the middle. The ball has been bobbled, it's been spilled. Knock on against the Raiders, is it that time though?
Yeah, it is. Walker there, just guilty there, just sloppy, just not looking after that ball. I was about to say that they don't force the ball, they force the pass as much as they have done in recent years, and then he goes and drops it.
Well, Graham, it's proof that people out there do understand you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if it's right.
It's all right.
But we'll come back to Mike Wilson and his answer at half-time. We'll give a chance to some more people to get in touch. 4 minutes to go until half-time. And Graham, do you want to try and repeat the question in case anyone missed it?
The question is, can you name the ex-Salford player that took part in the Superstars competition in the 70s, 80s, and won the Champion of Champions, and he still holds the record for the 100 metres.
Raiders now within just a few metres of that try line, trying to find a way through, wiggling and weaving. I think the penalty was given against Salford there rather than a knock on. I think it was just a hand in the ruck there, Graham. So Barrow have got possession back. They're going to move back towards the 10 metre mark now. Then they're held up over the line as Robson plays this one out. Raiders looking for their 5th try of the evening. Good short ball there. Can't quite find a way through, but gets the offload out the back as Barrow play this one towards the right corner, trying to get the ball away from Curtis Tier over to Dan Knott. Can't find a way through. Tackle is made, tackle is complete. 3 minutes to go, Raiders still within 10, driving towards the line, stretching, can't find a way just yet. Quick play of the ball as Barrow back towards that 10 metre mark now, bobbling around, quick hands over the top. They've got space on the left hand side, but it's a little bit slow to find the hands of T. Ritson. T. Ritson moves back in field, hand round the collar, wiggles his way through, still going is Ritson, gets it off all the way, Barrow underneath the sticks. Can they get the ball down? Yes they can. 3 minutes to go until half time. It's try number 5 for the Raiders. Fantastic work there, all started on that left edge from T. Ritson.
Great work there from T. Ritson, Dan. He twisted, turned, he kept going, he kept them legs bumping, every angle, swung around, and then he found his supporting player. I don't know who it was. I really couldn't see that time.
My scorer is Greg Richards.
Greg Richards, yeah.
When in doubt, we just wait for the announcer.
Yeah. I really didn't know then. I wasn't prepared to try and guess either.
It's getting tricky. I mean, conditions-wise, it's not as bad as the Workington game, where they were all just basically muddied from eyeball to toe, weren't they? But they're getting there, slowly but surely. Some of the numbers are covered up, but that one was confirmed as Greg Richards. 2 home appearances, 2 tries for the Raiders forward. Just a minute to go until half-time then. That's try number 5 of this half. This one's going to be a simple conversion right in front of the posts. It's going to extend the scoreline to 28 points to 0. So far, so good though, Graham Dale.
Yeah, I really am happy with the way they've played this first half again, and it's something we're getting used to seeing in this early part of the season, and it all bears good for the rest of the season, and I'm looking forward to seeing this week in, week out with some of the top sides in the league.
So we are back underway then, just a minute to go until half-time. Raiders 28, Salford 0. A few more people be messaging as well. Big shout out to Alison, who's tuning in from the Preston area. Proof that one leg is more than enough to stand up and support your team. Barrow Raiders now then, 26 points to 0. Moving up towards the 30 metre mark.
I pulled my Christmas crackers a month ago.
Barrow now up towards the 30. We are just playing into the final few seconds here of this first half, and it's been a dominant performance from Barrow. Salford have had their chances. A little kick over the top then. Can Broadbent get to this one? No, it's taken down well that time. Just trying to see who that was. Is it Kieran Taylor?
He was brave there. He had to get right down to Broadbent's feet And
Matty Ross it was, sorry, yeah, go on.
Yeah, he slid there at Luke Broadbent's feet there as Luke went to try and kick it, and then managed to get up and recover the ball.
Half time here, and it's the Raiders' dominant first half performance. 5 tries. Cresswell, Ritson, Knott, Doolan and Richards giving him that 28 points to no advantage. But the noise underneath was, Graham, you'd think it was Salford that were winning. They're in fine voice this evening.
Yeah.
In terms of a half-time team talk, obviously, Mike Grady, he's limited to what he can say to his Salford team. But as for Paul Craver, the Raiders head coach, surely you'd think if there's nothing too much to pick up on there, Graham.
Well, there'll be always something to pick on, knowing Paul. He'll be picking something up. I'll tell you what he'll pick out. He'll pick out that little 10-minute spell in the middle of the half where they just went off the boil a little bit and lost possession a couple of times. And on the back of that, conceded penalties, which allowed Salford to just clear the lines a little bit easier. So he'll look back for a reset. You know, like you said, nothing major going wrong, but he'll look for a reset, start the game well again, you know, and try and get a couple of early tries in as a reward for hopefully good kick play and possession, and see the game out. I'm sure the game's gone now.
Before we take our half-time break, we had 2 answers coming, Graham, 2 different answers.
Go on. I will adjudicate.
The first one, this does make a comment about the long way going around that question. He says Stuart Fielding. You don't know yourself, do you?
No, that's wrong.
I know, and the second answer
that's wrong.
Was Brian Jacks.
No, Brian Jacks came second.
Oh, there we go.
He was an international judo expert. It was Keith Fielding. Stuart Fielding played for Bradford.
Right.
A lot later.
Well, we got 2 answers that were close.
Yeah, it was Keith Fielding, and I always remember he won the cycling to win it off Brian Jacks, and he, like I said, he still holds the 100 metres record. You know, Brian Jacks, 50 squat thrusts.
There we go. If it's not dad puns, it's useless trivia from Graham. We'll be back in about 10 minutes time, half time here at Craven Park, the Northern Competition Stadium. It's Barrow Raiders 28, Salford 0.
What some of these do, what these... Tired old man there like snow.
At Craven Park, the Northern Competition Stadium, where the players are out and kicking off. No sooner than I can turn my microphone on. The score at half-time reads Barrow Raiders 28, Salford 0. It's been a dominant display from this Barrow team, as expected, coming into this one as heavy favourites. But Graham, probably expect more of the same for the second half.
Well, I fear it could be for the Salford Reds. The Raiders, like you said, they started and they dominated the majority of that half, 5 tries, great hit there by Salford. Like you say, they'll look. Salford will be looking to try and make a better start themselves, try and contain the Raiders' side. The Raiders will be looking to more of the same.
Dink over the top then towards the end of that set as Salford now pick this one up at the back. Can't find a way through. It's a wall of blue and white shirts that met by, and they're going to start this drive off their own 20. A few metres made that time then, as this Salford team look to creep up towards their own 30 now, shifting this one through the middle, just going through the motions, trailing the game by 28 points to 0. A dominant display so far from this Raiders team, who have only conceded that 1 try in their latest 2.5 games now. A record they will look to keep up as they got some tricky fixtures ahead. Next up, Challenge Cup action against the Super League opposition in York Knights.
That'll be a big test for the Raiders of how far they've come with this new disciplined defensive approach.
We talk about discipline, ill discipline there, give away a penalty, Graham.
Yeah, they can't afford to have these lapses. I know it's easy said and done, especially on a day like today, or a night like it is tonight, cold and wet and windy.
So Salford now then within 30 metres of that Raiders line. Just a few minutes played of this second half. The score remains Raiders 28, Salford 0. 5 tries in that first half. Salford looking to get on the scoreboard nice and early and find a way back into this one. If there is a way back, the ball was lost in that tackle though. Great work by Curtis Tier, the Raiders centre, just forcing that ball to come loose in the tackle.
Yeah, great ball and all tackle there from Curtis. He just stood in front of his man, took him down, and the ball come loose on the way down. Great work. It's always nice as a centre to see a second rower or a centre running at you and you're taking man and ball on your own.
So short stoppage in play now then as they set this scrum up. Just 3 minutes played of this second half. Raiders 28, Salford 0. The messages keep coming in as well. Shout out once again this evening from the Manchester and Burnley area. It's Mickey, who's serving as a police officer by trade and now a Raiders fan by choice. Love that one. I hope you're enjoying everything this evening, Mickey. As Raiders here lead 28 points to 0, back in possession on that 40-metre mark. As Raiders shift this one out towards the right side, it's a late offload there from Cresswell. Tia couldn't handle that one. Cresswell will hold his hand up and apologise for that one. I think he was caught in 2 minds here, Graham, whether to take the tackle or give the offload away, and he got stuck in the middle a little bit.
Just trying to force it there. Maybe should have just took the tackle.
So the wind's picking up now, and it's, I think I've cursed us. I talked about how sat in our previous position, it's a little bit warmer over here, but now as the night draws in, that wind's definitely picked up on this balcony, Graham.
It's definitely a westerly wind, northwesterly wind, that.
It's not a night for shorts, let's put it that way.
No.
Who wears shorts on a wet, miserable winter Saturday night, eh?
Not
Salford.
John Travolta, that's for sure.
Salford now out towards that right side. Dropped just shy of the 40-metre mark, moving back infield now, looking for their first points of their championship season. 44-0 it finished in their opening weekend against Oldham, now trailing Barrow by 28 points to 0. Again, trying to move down the short side, moving back inside, bouncing off a couple of attempted tackles from the Raiders. It's going to be Garmston, who's brought down on the 30. The Salford now. Quick hands as Dwyer attacks the Raiders' defensive line, looking to get an offload away, but it's wrapped up. Tackle complete. Salford within 20. Looking for a quick play, setting up some shape deep down on this left-hand side. Can they get the ball over? They're going to kick it over the top. They're going to try and catch the Raiders' defence off guard. It's going to edge towards the touchline. It's going to bobble out into touch. Good intentions from the Salford attack, but that time didn't quite pay off.
Yeah, high risk there, high risk play. You know, they kicked it towards the touchline. Maybe if they'd just stabbed it through and I'm trying to put it on the try line and chased it, the Raiders have had to deal with it, maybe put it dead and a repeat set themselves. So it's about trying to keep themselves, you know, in the game with the ball in hand as much as they can. Sorry, Dan. If there's anything they could try, it would be to try and keep, the ball for a couple of sets, because they haven't managed to complete many sets so far.
So the rain keeps on battering down. I thought it had eased off during the half-time interval, but it's back, and it's back with a vengeance. 34 minutes to go until full-time here. It still remains Raiders 28, Salford 0, and 5 first-half tries. At this stage, you imagine far too much for Salford to make any sort of comeback. If anything, be looking for a consolation try now as Raiders putting them through the paces. Good kick chase here as the ball is just bobbled and stopped dead on the Salford 20-metre mark there. The momentum of that ball just stopped quite suddenly there, Graham.
Yeah, good kick chase though there by the Raiders. 2 tackles in Salford, you know, on the 40-metre line, 30-metre line, you see.
So Raiders defending deep inside this Salford half. 2-3 men in every tackle. Not giving Salford an ounce, an inch of space, never mind an ounce. Big tackle that time. Salford trying to shift the ball back inside. Couldn't find a way through the Jared Stack. As now it's going to be a little dink kick over the top from Brad Dwyer. He's trying to do anything he can here. He's slipped. Cresswell slipped. Play continues. Cresswell almost finds a way through. And it was Damola Lowo. I'm not going to say it too often. But the big man completed the tackle for Salford there. As the rain now is moving towards our equipment, Graham. You have to take your jacket off and cover us up now.
Yeah.
Technical. Difficult, is it? Not too sure. Plenty of electrical equipment up here though, and not much protection from Mother Nature. As Barrow now move inside the Salford half. Still leading by 28 points to 0, almost 10 minutes played of this second half. Greg Richards, try scorer, just before the half-time hooter, takes Barrow to within 30 metres of the Salford line. Doolan once again runs around the mark as he's found some space, just grabbed the tail of his shirt at the last moment there to bring down the Raiders man, as Cresswell now and again attacking the mark, has made another quick 10 metres there, and Barrow, just like that, find himself within 10. It's fifth and last. Options left and right, go towards this left-hand side. Can they shift the ball across? Trying to get the offload away. The offload does come away. Raiders go in for the 6th try of the evening. It's now Barrow 32, Salford 0.
Yeah, they upped the pace there, the Raiders, from dummy half at first with Doolan. Doolan made a great break, went to the left of the sticks, and then he found a supporting player. I couldn't quite tell you who that was. And then close support again, going over for the try. I think they may well have, I don't know if that's instructions from half time to shorten the game up a little bit, just try and get it a bit quicker around the dummy half, get them under a little bit of pressure and see what gaps they can make up the middle. That's certainly what they did there.
I've got a unconfirmed reports that Charlie Hemsley had scored that try.
Have you now?
We've got Keith the cameraman alongside us. Can you confirm he scored that try, Keith? Not a clue. But great, aren't we? Absolutely fantastic. All these sets of eyes up here on this balcony. We've got announcers. Oh. Charlie Hemsley.
I must admit, I didn't see his big bandage. Mind you, it's muddy now.
So Charlie's just done a bit of an ironic cheer as he walks down the field there. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But we're going to go with it. Hemsley, not Hemsley, scoring a try there for the Raiders. 30 minutes to go. It's Barrow 32, Salford 0. Conversion attempt unsuccessful that time. The wind just caught a hold of that one at the last second. So it's going to remain Raiders 32, Salford 0. We believe Charlie Hemsley, the 6th different try scorer of the evening, which just shows as well, Graham, that this Barrow team, as we've seen for the first few weeks, they've got tries throughout the squad.
Yeah. They've moved the ball around well. They've scored tight tries in around the ruck, and they've scored tries on both edges. It's like you say, they've started the season really well, and like you say, it builds momentum. Winning becomes a habit, just as losing becomes a habit.
So Salford about to get this one underway then. Raiders 32, Salford 0. 29 minutes to go. More tries and more shout-outs. Raiders lose possession. I say lose possession. It was Curtis T at that time that had just put his shin to try and stop the ball. It had hurdled in front of him, in front of the chasing Salford defence, which has now become the attack. Salford have regained possession 20 metres out. We'll go back to the shout-outs that have been coming in shortly, because here Salford are in a position to get their first points of the evening, the first points of the championship season. Will they come against a team who have only conceded 1 try in their last 2.5 appearances competitively this season? It's now 5th and last. Salford within 10, moving out towards this right hand side. A little grubber kick comes through. It's bouncing, it's bobbling, it's moving all over the place. It's collected. Players stopped though. The referee has blown his whistle. Still a little bit of a coming together there in the middle. I'm not too sure what's happening. Was it a knock on?
I'm just trying to wait and see what the referee hasn't actually signalled anything yet.
It's quite late signalling here. He's stopped the clock. It's looking like an error from the Raiders, so it's setting up to be Salford back in possession. Could be wrong. Still waiting for an indication from the official, as the doctors now and the physios come onto the field. We've got a slight stoppage for an injury break here, as it looks to be one of the Raiders players, possibly Costello there, is it? Right, we've got a scrum down, head and feed to Salford, so it must have been knocked on by the Raiders in that little fumbling process.
Knock on by somebody in a blue shirt.
Blue and, well, half blue, half brown as the evening continues, and so Salford within 10 with a fresh set. There's going to be raising the roof kind of noise here, Graham, if Salford can go over from their mass amount of travelling fans that have made the journey up the M6 this evening. As Salford now head towards the left-hand side of the post with Stanton. He's brought down just a few metres shy. The referee has indicated 6 again, so it's another prime opportunity as Salford chips this one quickly going down the right-hand side. Raiders defence do enough to shuffle across and stop that attack though, looking for the quick play of the ball now. Salford still within 10 metres, up towards... Well, it's just running through the hands there, where it's eventually going to land with Ayalaja Lowo. He's brought down just a few metres shy. Salford shift this one right across towards the left-hand side. Fast hands here, out the back. They've got a 2-on-2 scenario. Can they find the space? Just a one step, one more drive would have made it over the line. Tackle complete. Salford moving back towards the 10, slipping all over the place now as Raiders come flying out the line. Indicated all offside.
Yeah, the referee has adjudged that I think it was Mike Costello was a little bit too keen there, off the mark.
So it's going to be yet another set for Salford. Their fans are primed and ready for a rupturous roar here, as they're trying everything they can. They've shift possession and they've dropped the ball.
That's a killer.
Toby Hughes it was. That's unfortunate. I was kind of getting excited for them myself there, Greg.
Yeah, well, they're in the right end of the field now, and they'd had a couple of repeat sets, by want of a penalty and a knock-on. So, this is what they need to try and create, Dan, in order to sustain pressure, in order to try and get a try and work a situation. But the Raiders don't seem to be dominating like they did in the second half as we start this first quarter of an hour.
Yeah, Salford have definitely come out with a...
Just consolidated a bit, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got a bit more intent about them in this second half for this Salford team, and they were unfortunate there not to go over. So Raiders now then back in possession, just off their own 20-metre mark, leading this game by 32 points to nil as the shout-outs keep on coming. This one is for regular listener Adam, who's tuning in this evening.
The Raiders are running at the teeth for this wind and rain as well, which also doesn't help. That ball will be like a bar of soap now.
Massive tackle there, absolutely huge shot on Charlie Emsley. Usually it's the opposite way around.
He felt that.
He's got no excuses for that one. I think he just is accepting what's happened there. He's been bashed backwards just inside his own half. The ball has come loose. He stands up, swallows his pride a little bit, ready for the game to continue. As now we've got another short pause in play. Oh, I thought something was going on there. Play continues then, Salford.
Very aggressive, great defence. You see the Raiders there, they're looking to try and command them and dominate them early as they can. They shot out of the line there, 5 or 6 of them.
32 points to nil then. The weather has got as bad as ever. The wind's picked up. The rain is getting heavier. The night is getting colder.
This is the worst I've been in for a while, Dan. I wouldn't like to be out there in my shorts and jumper.
Can think of better things to do on a Saturday night, can't we, Graves?
Yeah.
Albeit we do enjoy coming down here, and for our listeners and viewers these days as well, for this coverage for Barrow Raiders this season. Once again, Radio Cumbria covering every single minute of Barrow Raiders. Goal over the top. Oh, and he was going to be free there. It came over the top. It just bounced out of the fingertips of the Salford number 35.
Good play again by Brad Dwyer there, just showing his experience. Just come to the left, across the line a little bit, stab the ball through, create a bit of chaos for a few seconds. But unfortunately, his Salford colleague couldn't collect the ball. I
would give more info, but
I haven't got a clue who it was.
We haven't got a 35 on our team sheet.
Was it 35 or 32?
Is it a 35? If it was a 32, it would be Toby Hughes. Again, the muddy conditions are making our life a misery at times here, Graham.
Yeah.
And the conditions just get worse. I think we're more concerned about protecting our equipment here than we are anything else at the moment. It's absolutely horrendous. 32 points to nil then, 23 minutes to go, and it feels like now it's going to be a long 23 minutes, not just for them players on the pitch, but for us up here in our media position as Raiders look to try and find a way through towards the 30-metre mark now. I do feel for the groundsman as well. Simon Clark, as he's down here this evening, watching his pitch get ripped to shreds. As we it'll be a beautiful green carpet come the summer months, Graham, won't it?
It will.
I'm sure it will be.
I mean, we've often seen the pitch in this state like it is now at this time of year, and then, like you say, a month or two later, and you think, is it the same field?
Big kick up for Brad Walker. Just caught up in the wind there, taken well by the Salford centre on that far side as the ball shifts back into the middle then. The referee indicated knock on. I don't know if it's because of the conditions, but we're still going to hear the referee's whistles. We're not too sure when. We just have to wait for the players to stop to know that he's blown up.
Yeah, there's a knock on there. Just a little fumble from the halfback.
So it's going to be a scrum down. Head and feed to the Raiders. I'd say around about 25 metres out from that Salford line.
I'm just trying to look. I'm just trying to gauge the Salford players' body language there as that ball came out. You know, and it was, they're under the pump, behind the 8 ball, whatever you want to call it. I won't be surprised if we don't see another Raiders try here.
So Barrow now then, out of that scrum, towards this right-hand side. Just borrowing your hat to try and protect the radio box there, Graham.
It is a Wigan hat, so it probably will do the job.
Oh.
There are other Super League teams available.
Ball has come loose in that tackle, indicated to be ripped out by the referee, so Raiders will keep possession.
Yeah. Again, that's another. It's another blockbuster for Salford to swallow, that, isn't it? Another set of 6. They pound the line, the Raiders.
You'd expect the Raiders here to make something of this as they find themselves just a couple of metres away from that Salford line. The referee has indicated 6 again. Salford failing to let the Barrow man up to play that ball as shift goes towards the left-hand side now, where Arch is going to be tackled by no fewer than 3 Salford defenders. Barrow still within 15 metres. Shuffling it towards that left-hand corner. Dummy gets the offload away. Still just a few metres away from that line, leading 32 points to 0. Looking for yet another try here, running towards the markers, trying to duck and weave, get under 2, 3, 4 Salford defenders. Eventually going to be held up over the line. It's going to be back to the 10 for Barrow. As conditions just get worse and worse as Barrow now then with King. Shift that one towards Walker. Brad Walker steps back on the inside, trying to find a way through, trying to get the arm loose for the offload. Struggling though. Eventually stopped. He's dragged backwards a good 5 metres or so there. And again, Doolan, he's been quick off the mark, charging at the markers. Yeah. Very sharp indeed, Graham. It's now 5th and last. Raiders just inches away from the try line. Keep charging towards the markers, charging over the line. Can they get the ball down that time? Referee's indicated no. He's going to be held up. It's going to be a turnover possession.
If you're going to turn it over, Dan, the best place to turn it over is on your opponent's try line.
Absolutely. You do wonder, in these positions, you'd like to see him swing the ball out to the edges and try and create that space, but it's almost a near impossible task in these conditions.
No.
It'd be like handling a... What's the term when you...
I don't know. Tongue-tied.
It'll cover me. Anyhow, it's a slippery surface. It's a slippery ball. So we're not going to see too many passes. It's like one-up rugby now for the next 19 minutes.
That's the cruel thing as well. It's these conditions that dictate that you need your big fellas up the middle, you know, or just off an edge a little bit, and just to try and get you that space and try and create an opening in order for you to get down the field. That looks a good kick.
Oh, potential 40-20 attempt. It's bounced back infield to Luke Cresswell, who would be grateful for that one. Again, another kick early in the set.
Yeah.
Potential 40-20 attempt as well, but yeah, it was just heading in the right direction.
It looked like it was going that way, didn't it? I mean, they have got the wind in the back, Salford.
Yeah, we can tell by the way that the rain is flying across the surface here that it's a very strong wind out there. I'm glad I got you in time, Graham, because I didn't see any of this. I think it started 5 minutes after I got myself in position, luckily enough. 18 minutes to go then until the full-time whistle. It still remains Raiders 32, Salford 0. That one try in the second half so far from Charlie Emsley.
Not happy there.
This time, referee blows up.
Finn Yates there, just getting in a little bit of an altercation. Bit of push and shove, handbags at dawn, whatever you want to call it.
It's been, in terms of the aggression levels, Graham, it's been nothing like the Cumbrian derby a few weeks ago, has it? It's been quite calm, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, Salford, they have kept going. They have been determined. They've been enthusiastic. I wouldn't say they've dropped off and thrown the towel in by any save the imagination. Is that Joe Bullock come back on?
Bullock back onto the field then, flying through the middle there. Almost 20 metres, 10 metres that, with men on his back. As Raiders now then, with Ryan King, just runs right at the Salford defenders. Another 10 metres made that time. And you can see the player's breath on the field now then as they head towards that darkened corner of the left side of the field. They need to change the light bulbs in them floodlights. As the Raiders now move to within 20 metres, looking for try number 7 of the evening. Out towards the left-hand side, cutting back in towards the middle, and there it is. Try number 7 of the evening. Raiders extend that scoreline. It's now Barrow 36, Salford 0.
I think that was Luke Broadbent. Another nice work try there. They come from right to left, threw the ball right across the field, in half a yard, a bit of a gap, and then they found the, like I say, they stripped Salford on their right edge. Luke Broadbent it was, yeah. Like you say, went in untouched. And I think Salford now will they'll be starting to be weary now. Tired bodies out there. They've been up against it for most of this game tonight. Just trying to see that scoreboard, Dan. Can you see how long's left? Is it 15 minutes?
Quarter of an hour remaining, Graham, yeah. So Raiders with their 7th try from their 7th different try scorer. Not too often you see that, is it? And when you 7 different try scorers, none of them from T. Ritson. None of them from Curtis Tier. But it's one of them games really where the Edges have had a relatively quiet evening because of the conditions here, horrendous conditions.
Well, because of the position of where the Raiders have worked the ball to, they haven't needed to pass it to the winger for the final pass on the outside most of the time. The centres or second rowers have been in the right position at the right time.
Successful conversion then from Brad Walker, as you can hear.
By number 6, Brad Walker.
38 points to 0 then in favour of the Raiders. And I mean, Graham, in terms of it's just got to kick off there. Curtis Tier had let that one bounce right in front of him. It's then took a left angle towards the touchline over his head. Luckily for him, Dan Knott was there to keep that one in play, but he's being targeted from kickoffs at the moment. It's Curtis Tier.
He can be vulnerable under the high ball sometimes, I do think, Dan. Maybe he should just go and try and attack it on the full.
Offload away to Joe Bullock, as Joe Bullock tries to pick up some pace now. The vastly experienced former Super League forward in Raiders colours this season, as Raiders now then shift that one quickly towards that left side with Archer, who's going to be heading towards touch. We're not too careful here. He's going to be dragged into touch from a strong Salford defence, and that's a rare highlight for the Salford highlight reel. 13 minutes to go. Raiders 38, Salford 0. Salford get possession back. Nice to see, though, they're not dropping their effort levels, Graham, all things considered.
Oh, they're sticking in. They're getting some. That'll be a win for them. You know what I mean? You know, they'll when you talk about wins in the game, it'll be the fact that they've turned possession over against the run of play, and they've got the ball back on the halfway. You know, the coach in the video footage when they play it back, this is the sort of things they'll look at to try and build on.
So Raiders now then back on defensive duties as Salford move inside the Raiders half.
Solid.
Haldenby, good run for him that time. Takes Salford to within 40. Finn Yates now. Short drive that time as Salford keep moving this one down the short side. And again going for that early kick over the top, trying to catch the Raiders out. The ball has come loose. Second time around, Raiders managed to regather, but they found a touchline in the process. So once again, Salford are going to get possession back. It was a little kick over the top for that time from Toby Hughes, which kept the Raiders defence there. A little bit of 6 and 7s, Graham.
Yeah, it's an intelligent kick there, really. Turned the Raiders, made them run back, try and retrieve the ball. And like you say, they just could not secure it. And ended up putting it in touch.
So Salford now then within 10. Moving towards that right-hand side. Looking for their first championship points of the 2026 season. A referee has stopped the clock. Now he's waved play on. That was nice. That's Salford then. Back towards the 10. find themselves right in front of the Raiders' posts, trying to just fire this one through with the forwards. Struggling to stretch the play under these horrendous conditions. Moving out towards the right side now, a little bit of a step as the dink kickers come through. The chase is on, collected by a blue and white Raiders shirt. But again, that early kick from Toby Hughes that time was seen by the Raiders defenders.
Yeah, it was a good effort. It was a well-executed kick. Like I say, they just couldn't manage to keep the Raiders player behind the try line.
I do apologise for the coughing. A terrible dry mouth at the moment. This is what happens when you don't bring your kids along to go and get you some refreshments at half-time. Amateur hour. The official attendance is about to come in now as well. 2,170 in attendance here. Almost half of which has been made up by Salford fans. It's a fantastic turnout for a very wet, very cold Saturday night for the Raiders. Saturday night's all right for fighting, Graham. 38 points to 0 up.
Yeah.
But it's my new karaoke song now.
Is it?
A little bit of Elton. As Raiders now, they're moving down that left side up towards the 40-metre mark.
Saturday night's all right. All right. All right.
Knock on there.
Yep.
To the delusion of the Raiders players. They are not happy. They need to be careful here. Aidan Doolan's going flying towards the official, and he's not too happy with whatever's happened, but the referee has just seen the knock on. Nothing seen by the touch judge, so it's going to be a scrum down, head and feed to Salford on the 40-metre mark. Still, the scoreline remains Raiders 38, Salford 0. Ball in the scrum then, out towards this left side. Fast hands from Salford. It's going to find Kieran Taylor. He's going to be dropped just off the 30 mark then as Brad Dwyer looking for the quick play of the ball. It's fell into the hands of Stanton, who's caught that one a little bit flat-footed, so it gives a chance for the Raiders defence to smother him in possession. Play moves towards this right side once more. They've got a space on that right-hand corner. Can they find the line? They found the line, and listen to the noise. It was worth the journey for these Salford fans. They've seen their first points for this new-look Salford team, and it's come with 9 minutes to go on the clock. You'd think it was a game-winning try. They're behind the sticks there. They're giving it some. It's a joy to see this, Graham.
Yeah, they've worked very hard, and it might be small pickings, but they'll take it.
Well, we said the roof was going to be raised if Salford went over, and there you hear it. 38 points to 0 down. Doesn't make a difference for these travelling Salford fans. They got their first points of the match, their first points of the season.
Yeah, they showed a bit of subversion there and a little bit of trickery. Indeed, they were a devil in disguise.
Wow.
Like that. Having that one.
Got to be careful. Some of the fans might not like that these days. For this new look Salford team. Conversion attempt from that far right hand side. It's a tricky one. It's going to go wide right of the post, so it's going to remain Raiders 38, Salford 4. Still no confirmation on the try scorer. Listen, we're doing our best, we really are. But from this position in these conditions, it's so hard to see who's scoring these tries. If I was going to take a punt, Graham, I'm going to assume he had a skull cap on. It wasn't just a muddy head. Far right side.
Raiders 38, Salford 4.
So again, a score update from the announcer comes with ironic cheers from the travelling supporters, who have definitely found their voice now. It makes me love this game, Graham, when fans do things like this, you know. It's just in sport in general.
Yeah,
it's a lovely thing.
Let's say they're a hardy bunch. They've made the journey, they've stood in the rain, and they've waited until 75th minute, 74th minute.
72nd minute when he went over, yeah. 8 minutes to go. Well, 7 minutes to go now until full time. Raiders 38 points to 4. And the play has been stopped once again. The ball has come loose. The referee has... I assume he's got a whistle. Maybe it's just from our vantage point. We can't hear it, Graham, but...
The wind's probably deflecting the noise away from us, Dan.
Scrum down, head and feed to the Raiders. I think the rain's starting to ease off now, but the temperatures are starting to drop.
Starting?
Drop further, shall we say. Welcome to summer rugby here in South Cumbria.
Any minute now, the sun's coming out.
Get the lotion out, Graham, eh? As Brad Walker now then pops that one off to Curtis Tier. Raiders inside the Salford half. Final 6 minutes of action to play here. Massive run from Joe Bullock. He's still going almost 20 metres. Piggybacking the Salford defence with him. Josh Wood back onto the field. Gets this one out towards his right-hand side where Jared Stack gets a fantastic offload away to Cresswell. Cresswell to Walker. Walker's looking for another offload here. Salford just managing to wrap that ball up with Garmston. He completes the tackle, and now Walker's looking to get back onto his feet, staring at the referee, looking for the penalty. Back to one as Ryan King now then. It's not back to one. He was looking for it. Just to confirm that, Raiders within 10. Out towards this right-hand side. It's come out the back. Raiders they've got the room on this right-hand side. Dan Knott cuts it back in towards the middle. It's going to be Knott. He's got 4-5 Salford defenders surrounding him. It's fifth and last tackle. Raiders a metre or so away. Josh Wood throws that one back towards the middle where Walker dinks it through. Who's going to get onto the end of that one? It's going to be a Salford man, is it? Yep, so it's going to be a restart off the 10-metre mark there with Jared Stack again arguing with the official about his decision that time. Seems some questionable decisions, I think, this evening.
I couldn't really see where the knock-on occurred there.
So play restarts with Salford in possession, moving into the final 4 minutes of this one. Raiders 38, Salford 4. Massive tackle that time from Jared Stack.
Man of the match is number 16, Greg Richards.
Greg Richards awarded the sponsors man of the match, and Graham, it's time to come over to your great self and pick the BBC Radio Cumbria player of the match this evening for you.
I'm going to go for another one of the forwards. I'm going to pick Ryan King. You know, he's done 80 minutes. He hasn't had a break, and he's been very strong up that middle.
It seems like it's a name we're talking about a lot week in, week out, is Ryan King, who's once again awarded BBC Player of the Match as Salford now on the last tackle. Look to dink that one through. It's just been hoofed forward. Eventually it's going to find touch. It's going to go out on the full though. There's a bit of a hit and hope kind of thing there from Salford in the final 3 minutes. 38 points to 4. Raiders lead this one.
I'm sure both sets of players will be glad and eager for the final whistle. They must be feeling the cold now.
I feel dirty just watching this game, Graham. It looks horrendous out there.
They say the body's last place to lose fluid is the tongue when you're thirsty. Well, the last place to lose a bit of body heat is the back of your hands. They're freezing.
I do wonder what goes through that.
Honestly, we're talking about. I've tried and tested it. I've been in these conditions, and the backs of your hands are the last thing to go, and you just want to get off the field.
This is a man that works in education, everybody. Graham Dale alongside me.
It's true.
3 minutes to go until half time. Until full time, should I say. Raiders now looking for that last ditch attempt. Can they get past the 40 mark as they move that one out towards the left? And it's going to be T. Ritson that runs sideways, trying to find a way through. Can't find one that time, so he's going to get up and play that ball to Josh Wood out towards BBC Cumbria's player of the match, Ryan King, and the ball has then come loose in the tackle after the offload. Salford collects possession, and from here I think we're just going to go through the motions and see this game out. 2 minutes to go. Raiders 38, Salford 4, and I think that was the last attempt we're going to see from the Raiders attacking that line, Graham.
Yeah, well, they could get another attempt. Like you say, it's both teams getting a little bit scrappy now. Ryan King there looking to set up the play again.
Just out towards this right side now. Then it's a good offload away. Salford trying to create some space. Shimmying back onto the inside, but Raiders defended them well to shuffle the cross. Not only to complete the tackle, but force him another few metres back. So off their own 30-metre mark now then. Salford just trying to find a way through. It's popped off to Bowring. And again, nothing gained that time for the Salford forwards.
Am I right in thinking they've only conceded 10 points this second half? Is that right? Was it 28 at half time?
It sure was, yeah. 10 points to 4 as a second half scoreline.
So again, you know, when we talk about wins, they'll be taking a lot from that. The fact that they've stepped it up second half and competed a little bit better.
So Raiders now then towards the 20-metre mark. Back in possession once more. Out towards this right side with Brad Walker. A little bit slow here, going for the final minute of the game. Out towards the short side, trying to find a way through, but Curtis Tier has slipped. So play continues around that 10-metre mark. Walker with a crossfield kick. He's going to go straight into Salford hands though. Salford trying to break away. They got an offload and he almost got that one to the winger there, and it would have been downfield unopposed. Instead, the ball has trickled into touch. So we're into the final 60 seconds. We're just literally waiting for the hooter to go here. Raiders are going to get possession back. I imagine if the play is allowed, the players are slowly getting into position here, counting down the seconds. It could be a bit of a try anything kind of moment here, Graham.
Yeah.
So play is going to continue then. There's the hooter. On the play of the ball, the play has been stopped. It's finished here at Craven Park, the Northern Competition Stadium. Barrow Raiders 38, Salford 4. Salford come up with their first points of the championship season with a fantastic travelling support this evening, but it was their first half performance, finishing 28 points to 0 after 40 minutes, which was enough to kill the game off. 10 points to 4 it finished in favour of the Raiders for the second half. Totally different outlook. The weather's probably changed everything that the game could have been, but nevertheless solid enough for the Raiders to get another 2 points on the board. Their unbeaten start to the season continues, and Graham Dale alongside me. All in all, what do you make of that one?
Well, it was, I wouldn't say it was a game of two halves in such, but the weather was definitely, the driving rain into the Raiders' faces definitely will have played a part in their consistency in the second half. But fair play to Salford in that second half. They competed better. They kept hold of the ball slightly better than they did in the first half, and that just kept the Raiders at bay. And I'm sure they'll take many good points from the game where they've had good wins in defence and tackle and managed to get the Raiders to spill the ball. As for the Raiders, they'll look at did we lose opportunities to score more points and dominate defensively. I don't think they did as well as they have done, but you can't argue with their 38 points to 0 or to 4. They've played really well overall, and like you say, they carry that into a really tough game next week against York, you know, where they will be tested themselves.
I was just going to touch on that game. Obviously an unbeaten pre-season, an unbeaten start to the regular season, a comfortable victory against Wigan St Jude's. Their first major test will come next time out at home to York Knights, who, even if they play some fringe players, that it's going to be a big challenge. But I think some people believe, depending on what team York put out, of course, there's a chance the Raiders could cause one of the upsets of the round. What do you think of that? Well, they could,
yeah, definitely. They've got it in the locker, haven't they? They've got a really good pack, which is important. You can't compete at this level and win games consistently unless you keep your pack and you keep your pack fit and healthy. If they've got a fit and healthy pack against York next week, I reckon they are going to be in with a shout, and I think it will take the last 20 before the game's decided.
Well, 150 points almost scored for the Raiders in the last 3 games. just the 8 points and 2 tries conceded. They're in fine form. Up next though, it's Super League opposition, York Knights here in the Challenge Cup, that you can listen to live and exclusive on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Until the next time, stay classy, Cumbria.